We're here at QA1 and Mopar Nation. We have a new project to show you. I'm Steve here at QA1 with Mr. Brett and his car. What do we have here?
66 Charger, originally a 318 air conditioning car, automatic, now a 440 with Imposter 383 badges.
And how long have you had this one?
About 4 years.
4 years? Mm-hmm. And is this your dream car?
Close to it. I had a dream car. It was a black 67 Charger with a 440 Magnum. Had to sell it for getting suits for a job back in the day, and I always wanted one again. And I had a friend in the industry who had helped me bring another Ford convertible back to life. And when this one came up on Marketplace, I sold that to him and were able to clean up some funds and brought this one to life. It came to me as a roller and had a body rotisserie done on it, but had a junk 383 sitting in it. And
so you've done some work to this already.
Oh yeah, needed a bunch of love.
Now Brett, the paint on this looks pretty good. You got any details on the color and condition?
It's a stock silver Mopar color. It's the original color from the factory. From what I know, the car came from Kansas, and the original owner tried to do a Hemi clone out of it, and it had 426 badges on it. So he kept it original color, but was far from a 426 when I got it.
And I mean, there's a couple little things in it, but gives it a little bit of character. You were telling me a story about there's this white line under the windshield. What was that all about?
Yeah, I thought having a fire extinguisher in the car would be a good idea because I did the wiring on it, and I didn't secure it. And as I was going around the corner, body roll happened, the fire extinguisher, which I admittedly did not secure, pin came out and it discharged in my car going down the highway.
I mean, so are you really a car person if you've never had an unsecured fire extinguisher behind the seat?
It happens.
Anything else about the car that you want? Wheels, tires?
You know, these are 17-inch American Racing wheels, and I wanted to keep the speedometer working correctly, so they're the same size the original 14-inch wheels were in diameter, so the speedometer still works. I want to be able to put some wider tires on the back, so I think coilover conversion, getting rid of the leafs, will do some wonders on that.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it does pretty well.
Looking at the interior, Brett, it looks really clean. Is this all original?
It's original style. I've replaced the foam on the seats and the carpet. Headliner's original. A car came with a bunch of blue interior panels and things, so I used some interior dye and got everything the same theme.
It looks nice. The seats, back seats, real nice and big.
Thank you. And thank you.
A really cool light here in the tunnel. I have not seen one of those before.
Yeah, those get really hot when I'm working on the car. If the door switch is activated, those will actually melt the lenses over time with the stock bulbs, but they're really neat. The interior, it feels kind of a luxury car going down the road, but it seats well for a bucket seat car.
And you've added some stuff to the dash, it looks like?
Yep, got some odometer gauges. I don't trust the original electric senders, so I go mechanical oil, and figured while I was at it, I bypassed the alternator, which is a fire hazard on some of the older cars, so I needed a voltmeter and thought I'd throw a water temp on there as well.
My favorite part about the interior is obviously the T-handle telling me this is a shifter car.
That it's not originally a shifter car. It became one. When I got it, the trans hump was already welded on the car and it had a third pedal hung on it, but I had the transmission as well, but it didn't have the fascia plate on the console for the manual, so I had to get that and fabricate everything together.
That is my favorite part.
Thank you.
Prerequisite number one, do you drive that car?
Correct.
And you do. Well, it's always important knowing what's under the hood. What are we working with now?
It's not a 318 like it originally was supposed to be. It's not a 383 like it says on the fenders. It's a motorhome 440.
All right.
Low compression, probably 7.5 or 8 to 1, whatever. The Mopar people know better than I. It was a motor that a friend had in his shed that was available when I got the car. And I bought the car on April 10th, and we had a show on July 28th. And it was a roller when it came into my house, and he said, I've got this 440. What do you think? And I said, let's do it.
Dropped it in and went.
Yep, yeah, so we rebuilt it as stock. I put some 906 heads on it, and at that time it had a carburetor. I ran MSD ignition, and I drove it to the show on 1974 tires. So it was adventurous.
Yeah,
but it was a good
that's
time.
always a plus.
Yeah.
So you've got the ignition system in there. Any other upgrades that you put in there, or just pretty basic, swap it in?
Basic stuff. It's got an upgraded 95 amp alternator and fuel injection from Phytech. I figured I'm going to use it on the next motor, so why not put it on?
No hidden nitrous under the dash or anything?
No goodies.
Future plans, I hear you have some future plans for this?
Yeah, I'm looking at a 505 stroker kit, and it's probably going to be a brand new engine, but we'll see. Time will tell.
Nice.
Thank you.
Looks really clean, Brett. Mostly stock, is it?
It is very much stock, with the exception of swapping out to an aftermarket front disc brakes and double adjustables from QA1 all around. It's pretty bare bones.
Yeah. Did you have to redo any bushings or anything in the control arms?
Yeah, I redid polyurethane all around in all four corners on the sway bar. Learned some lessons about the OEM stock sway bar.
Yeah.
It's got some pretty unique mounts. It's an early 1966 version. Some guys on the B-Body forum kind of told me what I had because it looked really strange. It'll be great to be able to get a nice beefier sway bar up front, get away from the weird install here, and get a new K-frame.
And then also we're still running the stock steering, but we're going something different, aren't we?
Rack and pinion.
Rack and pinion.
And power.
With a new K-member. Mm-hmm. Front coilovers.
Tubular control arms.
Man.
The goodness.
This is going to be awesome. Looking out back here, I mean, pretty basic stuff. Leaf springs, have to do anything to that?
Replace leaf springs, a little upgrade, extra leaf on there. Made a world of difference in the height quality of the back end. 323 shear grip, 8 3/4. I'm just planning on keeping that in place. Double adjustables on the back like the front, and does a nice job.
We're going to keep the double adjustables, just not these ones, right?
Absolutely.
We're going to the full coilover setup.
Yes.
4-link.
No moss leaves.
No moss leaves. I'm a fan of that. Wow, out back here is really going to change as well. We'll have that ride height adjustability. I mean, this thing's going to scoot.
You're going to have plenty more clearance for larger meats on the back, which I'm looking forward to.
Nothing like some Arby's out back.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that's the overview of our Project Silver Bullet, soon to be under the knife. Full suspension, K-member, coilovers, the whole thing.
It works.
Yep. So if you like this video and you want to follow the progress of this one, stay tuned on our YouTube channel. Also, you can hit us up on the Facebooks, the Instagram, all of our social media. If you have any questions about this project, give us a call on the tech line, and remember to go drive it. It's gonna be hot.